Welcome. Raise your hand if you enjoy freedom. Now, if you raise your hand, you can go ahead and thank the military for that. I'm sure everyone here knows someone who, at one point in their life, was in the military, either your family, friends, or just someone who you knew back in the day. Now, I personally knew someone in my family, one of my close friends, and plenty of people from high school who went up and joined the military. There are 5 branches of the military. You have the U.S. Army, the U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Navy, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the U.S. National Guard. Today I'll be focusing on the U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and the Army. The Army is one of the large branches of the military. It is one of 3 that reports directly to the Department of Defense. And it is composed of an active and reserve component that carries out operational and institutional missions around the globe. The Army was the first branch of the military. It was formed in 1775 by the Second Continental Congress as a means to fight the British in the Revolutionary War. Since then, the Army has fought in every war that the U.S. has been involved in, including the War of 1812, the Mexican War, the Civil War, and of course both world wars. Today there are over 700,000 soldiers on duty and in the reserves that work in many different jobs in the Army. Next we have the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is a component of the Department of the Navy, and it is the country's expeditionary force in readiness and carries out global missions on sea and shore. Founded shortly after the Army in 1775, it was used in an effort to aid the Army in the Revolutionary War against the British. It is the smallest branch of the Army, however, it is one of the most effective because of the training. All Marines are trained, no matter what the job, as infantrymen, and trained to assess every situation and think of a strategy to overcome that obstacle. The Marine Corps is also the nation's 911 force. They are the first responders in the military, and are usually the first ones on the scene when we have a dispute, and stay there until they are relieved by normally the Army. And last but not least, we have the Navy. The Navy is the second of the 3 that reports directly to the Department of Defense. The main mission of the Navy is to maintain, train, and equip combat-ready naval forces to deter aggression and achieve victory by sea. Like the other military branches I mentioned earlier, it was also founded in 1775 by the Second Continental Congress. Like the Marines, the military operates by land, sea, and air, and they have also fought in every war since 1775 like the Army. The military is key to our country's success and freedom. Without the military, or without these branches in the military, we would not be able to have the freedom we have today. Hopefully I gave you a little bit of insight about these branches, and hopefully a little bit more respect for them. And just remember that without our military, we would not be the country we are today.